Welcome back to Amateur Game Review. I'm Zach.
I'm Randy, and today we're reviewing the greatest game ever for the PlayStation 4.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
You just wait.
All right, we had a small debate before we started recording on whether or not to include spoilers. We decided that it's almost impossible to talk about this game without spoiling it. So This is your warning. If you've not finished The Last of Us Part 2, go and finish it right now. Okay, and now that you're back, let's jump right into the review. I think it's going to be impossible to keep this video short at all.
Yeah.
So let's try to narrow it down to three main topics: graphics, gameplay, and story.
All right.
So let's just start off with graphics.
You go first.
Me first?
Yeah, what do you think?
I think just like The Last of Us Part 1, they waited until the end of the generation of the system. Like how The Last of Us Part 1, with the end of the PS3 cycle, it's like they took every bit of knowledge they had from the system, all the tricks, everything, to make the best looking game on the system. The Last of Us Part 2 did that.
Yeah.
The one trouble with the graphics, I will say, if you're not playing on a Pro, it is really hard to keep up. I wasn't playing on a Pro because I'm not Randy. And there were some times that, like, my system, one, it sounded like it was going to explode. Those fans were just chugging.
Well, I did play on PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Graphics were amazing.
Yeah.
And, like, every game has good graphics. Like, it's 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get good graphics on
Yeah,
pretty much
for the most
any
part.
video game. But there were details in the graphics. Like, the opening scene with Joel and the horse. And, like, you're out in the field.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
It was breathtaking.
yeah, like you start under trees, and as soon as like he goes out in the sun, like he blocks the sun out of his eyes.
Mhm.
Like very small details that just clicked. And the rain, they did like the whole second half of the game with both chapters was just rain.
Yeah, it's hard to do rain right in a video game. I know
Yeah.
that sounds odd, but like the water effects in general were really good.
Yeah,
Jumping into water reflections, that kind of stuff, all great.
there's just the part with Ellie and Dina, like your first mission, like you see a carcass, but the blood in the snow, like details like that. It's just it was really good.
The whole game was full of little details, and I don't know if this is graphics, but like the world itself was so well developed. Like if
Yes.
you just went off and explored and you found someone's room or something,
Yeah.
it looked like someone lived in that room.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna include that in graphics. Like the world just felt so lived in,
Yeah.
and so beautiful and well realized.
All right, next we got gameplay. What do you think about the gameplay in The Last of Us 2?
Honestly, other than a few additions like going prone and stuff like that, they didn't change hardly anything.
No, they didn't.
And I don't really mean that in a negative way. The Last of Us Part 1, the gameplay was good. It was great. And that's not really what this game is about. So like it doesn't take away that they didn't progress it any. And it's still fun. It's still engaging. I have one sort of major gripe, and it's a weird gripe.
What is it?
This game, you want to play stealthily, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what it is. You're in an apocalypse. You want to be stealthy around the zombies. You want to be stealthy around other groups of humans or whatever. And that's how the first game was played.
Yeah.
This game, the gameplay is the exact same, but I feel like even on higher difficulties, they give you so many resources, and the resources they give you, like pipe bombs and proximity mines and stuff like that. Like there were times, like if you shaved my head, put some tattoos on me, I would have thought I was Kratos. Like, and it's a weird gripe because the game plays so freaking good that way. Like if I just run out into the middle of an area and just start destroying people, so much fun. But it kind of took me out of it a little bit because I wanted to, and I kept trying to sneak around.
I mean, we don't all play on easy, Zach.
I wasn't playing on easy. It was weird because like go look at montages that people make online.
Yeah.
They do some crazy action movie type of crap on The Last of Us Part 2. And it's awesome. It really is awesome, but it's weird. It's like I don't know, they took the survival game and kind of made it a little too actiony for me.
I played on Survivor Plus.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I don't know if the new game or the Survivor Plus affected like parts for the weapon upgrades or meds for the skill upgrade. There wasn't a whole lot of resources for ammunition or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Even take the ammunition out of it. Like, especially with zombies, like all you gotta do is hit L1 and you can dodge the crap out of them and then shift. L1, if you're Ellie, it's even easier. You don't need a shiv.
Yeah.
She's got a pocket knife because she's not an idiot. Like L1 dodge, knife in the throat. Next
Why
zombie.
doesn't Abby have a knife?
I don't know. We're 20 years into this. Like she still has to make freaking shivs that only last a couple minutes.
The only thing I gotta say with the gameplay, like I almost felt like I was at the news station, and I was still playing the tutorial.
Like that far into the game, you're
Yeah,
still learning stuff.
The news station with Ellie and Dina.
Yeah.
I still felt like I was playing the tutorial. But other than that, I didn't, like you said, there was nothing really new. The mechanics they did add wasn't groundbreaking, but they worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fix what ain't broken. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you were talking right before we started recording, you brought up the going prone and the grass. Like,
oh yeah,
the multiple levels of grass or whatever. Like that it worked beautifully. Like especially like I tried to stealth, and when it worked great. It was just like it felt like it was a waste of time at some point because it might take you 10 minutes to get through an encounter stealthily, and you could do it in 2 minutes just by throwing a couple Molotovs and listen to their friends cry about them dying.
On easy.
No, not even on easy. Listen, that is one thing I will say about atmosphere-wise, though. Every person that you killed
had a name.
They had a name, and their buddies cared. Like,
Dave! What happened to Dave?
You throw a Molotov at someone, and their friends freak out. They are so upset.
There's someone here.
And that is awesome.
They got Dave.
One more thing before we move on from gameplay. And this is, like, probably for me the biggest negative, honestly. You want to explore everything.
Yeah.
And I felt like the level design wasn't really made. Like, you could literally go off in any direction and find rooms that were, and you would find stuff. But it almost felt just like it added like 10 hours to the game unnecessarily.
It was big.
There was the pacing of the gameplay was bad.
It was. And
there wasn't as much with the first one. There was still some gameplay pacing. Like you would get story and then you would get gameplay. But the best thing about the first one was all the dialogue in between Joel and Ellie.
Yeah. And
you still had that here, but not until, and we'll get into this in story, Lev and Abby. Like I didn't, like Dina and Ellie, it wasn't as good camaraderie as Joel and Ellie was. And that was one of the biggest things that was missing to me. I mean, that's basically all I've got for gameplay, so we can pretty much hop into story.
This is where the criticism comes.
Yeah, not really the criticism from me. I don't know about you.
This game.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, like, let's skip ahead a little bit. I thought this game was great. Let's just talk about the story. Why is everyone so mad? Because that happens right at the beginning. Like we said, this is not spoiler free, so.
Like you said earlier, before we start recording, there's 3 kinds of people.
There's 3 kinds of people that hate or that review this game.
Yeah, there are 3 people that review the game. There's the people that started it, seen Joel die, and quit playing.
And went online and started yelling about it.
Yes, within the game drops at midnight. This is a 30-hour game. Within 4 hours.
Yeah, tell me how 4 hours people reviewing it. Like
Metacritic had like 30,000 reviews. It was insane.
And I'm not going to pretend like Joel died and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, no, I was upset.
I was upset too.
Now, this whole game I was upset. But you knew that going in. I was never happy on The Last of Us Part 1.
No.
I'm halfway through that game just trying to get to the next area with tears, fogging up my glasses.
Then there's the people that think that this game's got some type of agenda. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole...
Yeah, like, because every character has, like, some kind of...
They think that this game's a whole get woke agenda behind it, which is trash. Like, that's not what's going on here.
The second type of people are the ones that literally, like, they have a problem with the characters.
Yeah.
Because one girl likes another girl, and they instantly go and review it and say, well, this is trash.
Yeah.
Like, this is 2020. Grow up. Like, that does not make this a bad game.
No.
It makes it a ballsy game, honestly.
It does.
To me.
Probably some people out there that have played it that don't like it because Joel died, or you know what I'm saying, have legit reasons to not like it. But like I'm gonna say 90% of people don't like it.
Yeah.
Or for one of those 2 reasons.
Yeah,
like,
one of those 2. Honestly.
I don't know.
But I
love it.
Yeah. Let's get to the rest of it. I mean, like I said, I'm not happy that Joel died. I'm not. But I think that the rest of the story can't be the way it is without him dying. He has to die for them to tell the story that they told.
Yeah.
And they told a fantastic story.
This is why this game's such a masterpiece, because I spent the first half of the game just wanting to to get to Abby. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because like they did a real good job of making, maybe too good of a job of making people hate Abby.
Yeah, they did. They did such a good job of making you hate her that when I started being her, I wanted the enemies to kill me. I was like,
Yeah.
See some ammo on the ground? Nah, I don't need it. I'm gonna die anyway. But the more you play as Abby,
Yeah.
the harder it is at first to hate her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're a little bit neutral. Then all of a sudden you like her.
Yeah.
And this brings to really it's so odd. The Joel and Ellie story that I wanted was there.
Yeah.
But it was Abby and Lev.
Yeah.
That was
Exactly.
Joel and Ellie.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. And to a little lesser extent, Yara, and then also her friends and stuff. Like Abby's part of the story was just as good,
Yeah.
if not better, than Ellie's. By the end of the game, the whole, oh my god, that whole last section when you end up being Ellie again.
That's about the point I was gonna make. I spent the first half of the game as Ellie, just wanting to track down Abby and get this over with finally.
Mhm.
By the time that final section happened, I just wanted Ellie to walk away. I didn't want no more fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and that's kind of where they were at too.
And I think it's what the game wanted. Like,
Yeah.
just there are no good guys, and that's the biggest point I think they were trying to make.
People are complaining about a lot of things with the story,
Yeah.
and this is to sum it up. I have one problem with the story and one problem only.
What's that?
It's too dragged out, too far between. There's a lot
The pacing.
There's a lot. That's what must. Yeah, the pacing of it was not very good.
Yeah,
The story itself,
amazing.
amazing. Honestly, it's just it is an amazing game. If they would have just shortened up, especially some of the openish world stuff that they
Yeah,
did, like
the world
right
was
when you get to
huge.
Seattle, that was too much.
The world was huge.
Mm-hmm. There was too much just to get some resources that you stayed stocked up on anyway, basically.
Yeah. Last
think-
thought. There was a scene with Yara and Abby,
Mhm.
but she said it was about they were talking about Lev. He was getting upset, and then Yara was like, "He really opened up to you, didn't he?" And then Abby says, and this sums up The Last of Us as a series, as a game.
Yeah.
We bonded over a shared fear of dying,
Yeah.
and that just explains what The Last of Us is as a game.
Yeah.
Like
It is.
It's
It's
amazing.
humanity trying to survive.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've pretty much talked on and on, especially about the story,
Yeah.
for way too long. So let's sum it up real quickly and just give it our basic number score.
Go ahead.
You want me to go first?
Yep.
9.5. I think this is an absolutely fantastic game. And if
Yep.
it wasn't for a few pacing issues, and that's basically it, a few pacing
That was
issues
it. Yeah.
for me, and it would have been a 10.
I'm going to go 9 point. I don't want to do the same as you, but it's 9.5. Pacing was the only issue I had with it. The
Really?
story was amazing. Gameplay, graphics. I mean, it hit all of even the sound quality was really good.
Yeah. We never agree on anything.
No. never.
Ever. So that's pretty surprising. But
Yeah.
All right. This has been our thoughts on The Last of Us Part 2. But at the end of the day, we're just amateurs, and our opinions don't matter more than yours. So why don't you tell us your opinions below? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about the game. Let us know what you thought about this review. Did we talk way too long? Probably. But
You still are.
I still am. So like, comment, subscribe if you want to join the amateur family, and hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date with us. Until next time, guys, we're Amateur Game Review. I'm Zach. This is Randy. And we'll see you in the next video.